Hey guys, welcome back to Maverick Watch Reviews, and for you new subscribers, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. Today we have the Invicta Grand Diver model number 3048, and as usual, we're going to open this thing up, look at all the features and functions, check out the build quality, and then I'll let you know what I think of this diver from Invicta. Also, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping page for many of my other favorite watches. I'll make sure to put a link in the description field for you. So here you go. Now, I haven't reviewed an Invicta in about 2.5 years, since about December of 2015. I'm going to look at this with a fresh set of eyes. I'm going to give Invicta another shot, another chance. Many of you OG subscribers definitely know my feelings about Invicta, but I'm going to give it another shot and see what I think. This is a different model than from what I reviewed 2.5 years ago. Back then, I reviewed a Pro Diver 20478. That review got roughly 30,000 views. They don't even make it anymore. But there was a lot of love and a lot of hate on that review. So for you Invicta fanboys, I'm really honestly going to give this a look with some fresh eyes, a little more diplomatic in my review of this Invicta. And there are actually some things I really do like about this watch, shockingly enough. So anyway, let's go ahead and open this thing up. I'm not quite sure what to expect anymore because I haven't reviewed one of these in a long time. So let's take a look at this thing. Well, I do like the dial color. I will tell you that. I always like yellow dials anyway. Watch pillow does feel extremely cheap. As you can see, it's not the best watch pillow. But I'm going to, like I said, I'm really going to try to be fair with this review. You get a couple of silica. These are called desiccates. Basically, just make sure the watch box inside stays dry. So you get a couple of those. Looks like you have your manual up here. Now, I have never understood the design of this box. It's interesting. It does catch your eye. I've never understood the reasoning for this portion in the middle. Anyway, that's just a little side note. I do like the embossed Invicta logo. That does look pretty good right there. All right, so looks like you're probably going to get a warranty card and an owner's manual in here. I'm assuming here's your warranty/registration card. Yep. And I think this is a manual with some more warranty information in different languages as well. So there you go. All right, all the boring stuff's out of the way. Let's take a look at this Invicta. And I can't even tell you what prompted me to do this again. I just wanted to give it a second shot, give it a second chance, I guess. All right, you're looking at a 47mm case. It's 17 millimeters thick. It's 55 millimeters lug to lug. It's on a 20 millimeter bracelet. It is 300 meters water resistant, which is 990 feet. It does have a mineral crystal. It has a Seiko NH35A movement with a 41-hour power reserve. It is windable and hackable. You have a screw down crown over here with some crown guards over at 3 o'clock. You also have the date over here at 3 o'clock with a Cyclops. It has the Tri-Night lume, which I guess is a Invicta proprietary lume. I haven't heard great things about it, I will tell you up front. It does have a see-through case back, which I actually enjoy that see-through case back. And it is made in Malaysia. Now, like I said, it's been 2.5 years. I'm going to try to, be fair to this watch. This is actually from the Pro Diver series, so it's actually an Invicta Pro Diver Grand Diver. I can tell you offhand, it is heavy and it is big. It's a big watch. It's a thick watch. It's a heavy watch. I do like, let's start with the stuff I like and then I'll nitpick a little bit. I do like the scallop bezel. I think the bezel looks fantastic. I like Cyclops. Cyclops, personally, I don't mind them. I'm getting a little bit older and I like the magnification of the date. I know a lot of you guys absolutely hate Cyclops, and I can understand it because it does disturb the nice lines of the crystal. And some people don't like that shadow that it casts whenever you're looking through the Cyclops. But I like it personally. I do like the yellow. I like the color they use for the dial. It does have applied indexes. It has a applied Invicta logo. The word is screen printed, but the actual logo itself is applied. It looks like there's a kind of black bezel around each index. You have your typical sword style hands. Personally, I don't think the hour hand is big enough for me. And I'm not super crazy about the shape of these hands, but it gets the job done. You have a diver's helmet logo here above 6 o'clock. It looks like you got some writing, and I'm trying to read that writing, but I'm really old and I can't even read the writing. I think it's saying 1,000 feet water resistant, which is 300 meters, yeah. You do have a little lollipop there on the end of the second hand, as well as an Invicta logo, I believe, right there on the back of the second hand. So I actually like the dial, I have to admit. You have some nice crown guards. Let's check out this screw-in crown. Nice crown pop. Impressed. Of course, your first position is for your date wheel, which most of the time you turn counterclockwise. There you go. And then the second position is for your hands. Nice smooth operation. As you can see, it is hackable. So far, so good, man. I'm actually impressed. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and screw that in. Let's check in the screw-in action. Nice. I'm betting this probably has a logo. It does. It has a diver's helmet. Oh, it's kind of hard to see with the glare, but you can see the diver's helmet on the crown. Let's talk about the bracelet. Bracelet is heavy. It's big. It's pretty loose. There's no friction between the different links. You have a nice deployment clasp here with Invicta on the buckle. This reminds me a lot of a Seiko clasp. Now, it doesn't have a security feature. This is just friction. So you just pop it open. You do have a nice milled scissor clasp there. Nice. This probably says stainless steel. Yep, stainless steel. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have those security buttons to make the clasp even more secure. But it feels good. I mean, the bracelet feels solid. Let me see here. All right, let's look at the case back. Case back is a see-through case back. I do like that yellow rotor. Now, not all of these Grand Divers come with a colored rotor. I think only a couple of these models actually have that colored rotor. You've got a lot of screen printing on the outside of the see-through case back, you know, giving you just some basic watch specification. It is a screw-down case back. You can see right there that it says, Invicta Watch Group. Then you see where it says SII for Seiko. That's the movement. So, all right, now let's nitpick at it a little bit. I've just got to. The two things about this watch that really kind of bug me are the fact that there are so many logos everywhere. You will never forget that you're wearing an Invicta watch because, there you go, Invicta. You have the diver's helmet here on the end link, here on the end link, obviously on the dial. You have it on the crown. You've got Grand Diver over here on the right-hand side of the case. Of course, you've got Invicta on the clasp. And then if you look, you also have Invicta on the links, which I think is a little ridiculous. If you look right there, Invicta all over the links. See if it's on both sides. Yep. Every single link has the word Invicta engraved on it. So that's a little bit much. You don't need this many logos for a watch. You just don't. Second thing, it's really big and really, really heavy. I know the trend has been for the last couple years for bigger watch case sizes, bigger dials, bigger everything. But this watch just doesn't need to be this big or this thick. If it was a better engineered watch, you could get away with a much smaller case and a much thinner watch. But because Invicta probably doesn't have the engineering budget of a Rolex or a Omega or a TAG or a, name your Swiss watch company, they have to make the case beefier. There are plenty of divers out there that are 300 meters water resistant that I would dare say are probably 4 or 5 millimeters thinner than this Invicta. Also, the dial itself is just a little too big. I mean, 47 millimeters, that's a big, big watch, guys. Now, I've said, earlier in the last couple reviews, my ideal watch case size now is probably between 40 and 42. And with this being 47 millimeters, it's really just kind of a burden to wear it on your wrist because it is so heavy. Now, another thing, I take that back. There are 3 things about the watch that I'm not crazy about. You've got very weird pricing. Invicta has always been known for this. Like, I think this watch's MSRP on their site is $595. I got this watch for $75 2 days ago, and now Amazon is selling it for $149. So prices jump all over the place. Invicta has been known for this. They have a huge MSRP, and then the MSRP is cut by like 80% to move these things. These are not Swiss-made watches. These are not Japanese-made watches. These watches are made in Malaysia. They are designed here in the USA. Invicta is based out of Florida. They are designed here and made other places. So, is it something that I would seek out? Definitely not. I just wouldn't do it because it's just honestly too big. I don't mind the style so much so far as the dial goes, but all the logos everywhere, the thickness of the watch, it's just a little bit too much for me. It's just too big, especially, you know, now, like I said, when dial sizes and case sizes are going back to probably normal, you would consider normal between like 38, 40, and 42 millimeters, you know, even a couple years ago. This thing is just too big and it's too heavy to really be comfortable. So let's go ahead and try this thing on, and then we'll get a lume shot. Now, I was doing a little bit of research on the lume. The lume does not get rave reviews, folks. It just doesn't. All right, let's try this thing. Good grief, this thing is heavy. Oh, my God. All right. Wow, that is a heavy watch and a thick watch. All right, let's also get a lume shot. Let's turn out the monitor. It looks like the lume is doing okay. Let's see what happens when I zap it a little bit. Not bad. Not bad. I hear it fades really fast. Yeah, it's already faded a lot. And obviously the camera picks up lume a lot better than the naked eye. So to me, to my naked eye, the lume is almost totally gone. Now the hands are brighter than the indexes, but gosh, all of the indexes are totally faded out now. That's really crazy how the camera can pick that up and the human eye can't. So anyway, let's go ahead and take this thing off, turn the monitor back on. And I think, you know, guys, tell me, I think I've been fair with this Invicta. And I didn't want to go into this review just hating on it because I know a lot of you guys really, really like Invicta watches. And they have got tons of different styles. They do have the finer, nicer watches that are actually made. I think that's the Reserve collection is actually made in Switzerland. But I think it's their designs that really just bug the crap out of me. They've got some, in all honesty, guys, they've got some hideous watches. I mean, absolute dog face watches that they make. And unfortunately, a lot of guys out there don't care about the build quality. They just care about what the watch looks like. They don't care what type of movement it is. They couldn't care less about the water resistance, how well the crown screws in and out. The bezel, you know what? I forgot to talk about the bezel. All right. I like the look of the bezel, but unfortunately, the scalloped edge gives you almost no grip. So, wow. I can't even, wow. Okay, so this thing to me now is basically worthless as an actual dive watch because you cannot grip this thing to turn it, and you're definitely not going to be able to do it underwater. Wow, it's just sliding all over the place. Well, my fingers are. It does line up perfectly with the 12 o'clock index. You know, there's a positive. But anyway, guys, I can't recommend this thing as a legitimate dive watch. There are just too many flaws with it, especially this bezel being so slick. It looks great. It reminds me of an Omega Seamaster bezel, obviously. And this is really kind of an homage to, you know, the Omega. It's an homage to the Rolex Submariner, as many, you know, Invictas and many other watches in the world are. But as a legitimate dive watch, I can't recommend this thing, guys. But with that being said, I mean, it's not bad. There are just much, much, much better options out there for your hard-earned dollar. And I would, you know, really recommend, you know, buying a Seiko or a Citizen, or if you want to buy a Swiss brand, buy one of the fine Swiss brands. But I can't, you know, even a Casio, like a nice G-Shock or something, just, I have to, my conscience will not let me recommend this watch. Especially the weird thing, since I bought it a couple days ago for $75, now it's $149. The list price on it is $595, just some weird pricing. Anyway, like I said earlier, make sure you check out my Amazon shopping page for many of my other, keyword, other favorite watches. And I can't, you know, I won't put a link to this in the description field to my Amazon shopping page. I'm not going to put it up on my Amazon shopping page. If you want to go to Amazon and pick one up, they are $149 now. And that might change in the next couple hours. But make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate every subscription. I try really hard to give you some good watch reviews, and I think I've been pretty fair with this. At least I hope I have. I know I'm going to get some comments. Bring it on. But if you think I've been fair with this review, please let me know, because I really tried to be fair with this thing. So anyway, again, this has been the Invicta Pro Diver Grand Diver, model number 3048. And until the next review, I will see y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.